Welcome all. Today's top breaking news with Gitanjali from Bayan Times.
Now, Pension Kanuka beneficiaries to get YSR Chayuta aid, benefiting 8.21 lakh more women from the SC, ST, and BC and minority communities. The state government has decided to extend financial assistance under the YSR Chayuta to those who are already availing social security pensions under the YSR Pension Kanuka. The state cabinet, chaired by Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy, decided to add more beneficiaries under the YSR Chayuta, which is aimed at empowering women between 45 and 60-year age group by extending a financial assistance of Rs 75,000 to each in the next 4 years. Earlier, women who are getting pensions under YSR Pension Kanuka were not included in the scheme. As many as 8.21 lakh women, including widows, single women, physically challenged, and others, are getting pensions. Now, all these women beneficiaries of pension scheme will also be included in the YSR Chayutam. Information and Public Relations Minister Prerni Venkatramaiah Nani told the media after the cabinet meeting, with the inclusion of 8.21 lakh beneficiaries, the YSR Chayuta scheme will now have a total of 25 lakh beneficiaries. Under the scheme, already 17 lakh women have applied and beneficiaries will get Rs 18,750 per year for 4 years. Rupees 8,500 crore crop loan target set drive from July 20. The state government has set Rupees 8,500 crore crop loan target for this year and decided to organize a special drive from July 20 to August 7 to extend loans to farmers as well as tenants. Speaking to media persons in the Secretariat, Deputy Chief Minister Revenue Pelli Subhash Chandra Bose and Agriculture Minister K. Kannababu said as part of the special drive, meetings will be conducted in all villages to extend loans to farmers and tenants and also sanitize them on Kisan credit cards. District collectors, joint collectors, and officials of Agriculture Department will take part in the meetings, asserting that the government came up with a new legislation to benefit farmers and also tenants. Both said it will not harm the interest of landowners as it provides cultivation rights to the tenants for 11 months only. The government intends to extend Raitu Bharosa and other benefits to tenant farmers also. COVID-19 cases in Andhra crosses 2,000 for second day in a row, 40 more die. For the second consecutive day, COVID-19 cases in Andhra Pradesh crossed the 2,000 mark, and for the first time, two districts of the state each accounted for more than 500 cases. There were 2,593 cases in the state in the past 24 hours, taking the cumulative tally to 38,044. The state also recorded 40 more deaths, taking the toll from COVID-19 to 492. According to the media bulletin released by the State Command Control Room on Thursday, of the 2,593 cases recorded, 9 are from other states. Kurnool recorded the most number of cases with 590, followed by 500 in East Godavari. Kurnool stands on top among all the districts with respect to the number of cases as well as deaths, with 4,816 persons testing positive till now and 114 patients succumbing to the virus. Of the 9 persons from other states who tested positive for the virus, 6 are from Telangana, 2 from Karnataka, 1 from Tamil Nadu. So far, 407 persons from other states have tested positive for COVID-19. "209 new coronavirus cases in Srikakulam district. Srikakulam district reported 209 coronavirus cases, taking the count to 2,163. As many as 54 persons were discharged from hospitals, including 11 from COVID care centers. There are over 130 active containment zones currently in the district, where the officials have been supplying essentials to every household. Vijay Sai promises government help to solvent fire victims. YSRC MP Vijay Sai Reddy has said the state government will extend all help to solvent fire Mishap victims. Vijay Sai, who visited the Vishaka Solvents plant at Pharma City, said companies should ensure safety protocols. He inquired from local residents and company management about the accident and damage caused by it. A 5-member committee was constituted to probe the accident, and it had already submitted a preliminary report to the collector. Action will be taken based on its final report. He said the government would extend all help to family members of Srinivasa Rao, who died in the fire mishap. Later, he visited injured worker Malesh, who is undergoing treatment at a hospital at Arilova.
Wake up from slumber, ensure industrial safety, said Chandrababu Naidu to government. TDP Supremo N. Chandrababu Naidu demanded that the state government announce rupees 1 crore ex gratia for the victim of fire in Visakha Solvents and arrest those responsible for the industrial mishap in Jawaharlal Nehru Pharma City at Parwada. The leader of the opposition asserted that the victim's family should be paid ex gratia on par with those of LG Polymers gas leak. The government should also ensure provision of the best treatment to the worker who was injured in the fire. It may be mentioned here that Rs 50 lakh compensation was announced to the kin of a junior operator who was killed in the mishap and Rs 20 lakh to the injured worker. Expressing concern over the series of industrial mishaps in the pharma city, Naidu said government should take immediate action against its developer Ramki Group for its failure to ensure safety. Concrete steps should also be taken to ensure running of units in the pharma city by strictly adhering to industrial safety. The TDP chief also alleged that the district authorities failed to take timely rescue and relief measures after the industrial mishap. Irresponsibility on the part of CM Jagan Mohan Reddy and the negligent attitude of the government towards safety are the reasons for the series of mishaps, he alleged. Telangana Finance Minister T. Harish Rao unveils 100-bed COVID hospital in Siddipet. Finance Minister T. Harish Rao inaugurated a 100-bed COVID hospital here at Siddipet. He said that the government has been providing good medical services to COVID-19 patients at government hospitals and institutions. The minister inspected the isolation wards and spoke to doctors about the treatment being accorded to the patients. He also inquired about the energy drinks which will be given to the patients and its usage, stating that 20 out of the 100 beds would be intensive care units ICU. The minister said that every bed in the hospital would have oxygen supply facility and that one person would be kept in each block. He said that the patients suffering from mild COVID-19 symptoms would be shifted to 100-bed isolation facility where they would be provided the necessary treatment. The government also already appointed 28 doctors and 150 nurses exclusively for isolation block, he added. He further said that people who test positive but do not have symptoms will be advised to stay under home quarantine. Dubai hospital waives off Rs 1.52 crore bill of COVID-19 patient from Telangana. At the time when private hospitals in the city are charging exorbitant amount for treating COVID-19, a hospital in Dubai waived off Rs 1.52 crore bill of patient from Telangana. Odnala Rajesh, 42, of Vengugamatla village in Kolepalli Mandal of Jagtil district, was admitted to Dubai hospital in Dubai on April 23 and tested positive for the virus. Rajesh took 80 days to recover and while getting discharged, received a bill of Rs 1.52 crore. His ordeal was brought to the notice of Indian Consulate in Dubai by the Gulf Workers Protection Society President Kundali Narasimha. Following that, the consulate wrote a letter to the Dubai hospital. The family had requested us to repatriate Rajesh to India and has expressed their financial inability to afford the bill. We shall be grateful if you can waive off the charges on humanitarian grounds, Harjit Singh, Consul Labour, wrote in his letter. His request was accepted by the hospital. Telangana government looks at eastern side of Hyderabad to boost IT sector growth. In a huge boost to the state's industry, IT and Industries Minister K.T. Ramarao said that government is contemplating to allocate the lands to the IT sector from outside ORR, where highly polluting companies are presently located. The polluting industries had been asked to move to other locations. Apart from this, 5 IT parks will be established on the eastern side of the city in and around Uppal, Malapur and Nacharam. In this regard, to disperse the growth of IT in Hyderabad, the state government is planning to come up with a growth in dispersion GRID policy. Speaking at Hyderabad, GRID development program in Uppal where companies like Infosys and Genpact, apart from a number of large, medium, and small scale enterprises, are located, Ramarao said. With this initiative, we will see more enterprises and investments coming to this part of Hyderabad. The minister handed over letters of conversion to Hyderabad Distilleries and Wineries Limited, Minacto Chem, Swami Soaps and Oils Private Limited, Gokuldas Exports Limited, and Bakelite Highlam Limited to set up IT parks in the eastern fringes of the city. Senior IAS officers in Telangana, Santi Kumari Yogita Rana, shunted out over COVID-19 mess. In the wake of criticism from different quarters, including the High Court, about the Telangana government's handling of the COVID-19 situation, two top health officials were shunted out. Special Chief Secretary Health A. Santi Kumar and Public Health and Family Welfare Commissioner Yogita Rana were shunted out by the government. Syed Ali Murtaza Rizvi will be a health secretary and V. Karuna will be the commissioner of public health now. Santi Kumari has been transferred to the forest department. Yogita Rana has been transferred to the SC department. Chief Secretary Somesh Kumar issued orders to this effect. Meanwhile, several other IAS officers too were transferred. This include Pedapalli and Adilabad district collectors. Several senior IAS officers were relieved from the additional charges and new officers were posted in those places. With this, we conclude with our today's news headlines. For more such latest news and updates, like, share and subscribe Payant Times.